I just got a notification saying that something was bad. Oh, it's raining like hell outside. It's actually not raining too much. It's actually just a little drizzle now. I thought it was raining really bad, but I think it's just the neighbors doing some noise. It's very noisy. If you hear banging whenever I'm streaming, by the way, that's the neighbors. There are a nice family of about 5 water buffalo that live above me, and that throw their garbage down the stairs because the adults are too lazy to take out the garbage themselves and send the kids who cannot carry the bag and drag it through the stairs, breaking it up on the way and spilling their content all over the stairs and up into where I am. Oh, I love them so much, by the way. I never actually talked to them, and I've never intend to talk to them ever, but I love them. By the way, that's fucking sarcasm. I hate the hell out of them. But that's another thing. Yeah, they're a friendly water buffalo family. They stomp and wrestle and do whatever the hell they're doing up there, and don't let me sleep a lot of the times, but they're better than my old neighbors, which is saying a lot because I remember one time one of the neighbors here, the one right above my room, started screaming like bloody murder outside, and even though neighbors and people told him to shut the hell up, he just said I don't care and kept screaming. I have no idea why. Like, he wasn't even screaming like curse words or screaming at something. He was just like kind of scream for like 2 hours. Even the cops got involved, and he locked himself in his room, and for some reason they didn't want to stop screaming. Maybe he had something wrong with him, but at that point he needs to be in a mental hospital, not above my room. Luckily this didn't happen during nighttime. This was like 5 to 7. He didn't stop screaming for some reason. Glad they're gone. I remember seeing when they left. I'm not sure if they got evicted or not, but I remember the guys who are in charge of getting rid of your possessions. They don't give a fuck about your stuff. I remember seeing them toss this nice like plasma TV, maybe about 30 inches or like 40 inches. I'm not sure. It was bigish, but not the biggest ones I've seen. Just tossed it from the second story, and it like, oh, my alarm clock almost fell. It just hit the pavement, and I was considering going there and probably scavenging for parts. They threw a lamp above it like a spear, and it just dented the hell out the back. At that point, I didn't really care. I'll be honest with you, I probably wouldn't be able to take anything even if I wanted to, because of the fact that even if it's broken and even if it's a mess, they still technically give you all your possessions back. A lot of the times just to end up in the garbage anyways, because a lot of the stuff that you left is still there. Or in any case, maybe they just left without paying or doing something, so they just went ahead and sell them to get rid of the possessions. They also get charged for that, but they're not required to give anything to them. They just take it to the dumpster. Drop it off there. Sorry, I've been awake for about 6 hours now, which is impressive, to be fair. For myself, I usually around this time I would have fallen asleep. But yeah, essentially today is one of my days off, so that's why I'm streaming. But usually I'll go ahead and be doing other stuff during the day, so that's why my streams will be from 5 to 8. Usually around the time everybody gets home anyway, so that's okay. I would probably gone for longer, but I do have D&D around 8 to like 12. I do long sessions. I like long sessions to get stuff done. And a lot of the times it's basically just 1 hour shorter than that because we just talk randomly. It's not bad though. Talking to your friends is never a bad thing. Don't forget that. And especially when it comes to D&D, some people tend to be like, "Oh, it's a responsibility." It's for fun, dude. Even if you have making a channel, making money out of it, unless you're one of the producers or like the DM or somebody working, D&D is meant to be for fun. If you're not having fun with D&D, don't play it. It's as simple as that. But yeah, as you can see, I can go ahead and rant about random stuff a lot of the times. Yeah, I don't do landscaping anymore, going back to that topic, because I managed to get an allergic reaction, swelling my face up like immediately. I remember laying down in bed for like I don't know how long, and they just being there for so long. And then coming back outside, just the look that my family gave me, my aunt, and my mom was there, and I remember the look they gave me because my head was swollen. My uncle, being the old-fashioned Mexican, however, as he saw, I got this the allergic reaction while we were painting a fence. Apparently, there was some poison ivy or something growing on the fence that we were painting. And we were dismantling as well at the same time. We were dismantling the rotting wood and some of the branches that was like, you know, overgrowing in between the rings and like the nook and crannies of the fence. So apparently something there I'm allergic to. I'm still not sure because I never went back to get tested to see what I'm allergic to. So I just consider outside evil and not going anywhere camping. I used to camp not a lot, but I used to camp back in the day. Not anymore. I'm not gonna go ahead and risk getting an allergic reaction in the middle of the woods just to end up perishing over there. But yeah, my face was swelling as hell, and I remember waking up that day and then my family seeing me and telling me to go back to sleep and giving me some like I forgot what the medication is too. It's allergy things. It's Benadryl, I think is what it's called. It was a pink pills. And I remember I hear my uncle in the other room being like, "So does this mean he's not gonna finish the fence?" That was funny. Just like, oh yeah, he's dying. Does that mean the fence is not getting finished then? I mean, he's not a people's person. To be fair, yeah, I'm more charismatic than he will probably ever be. But he is very strong worker. He is really good at the job as well. He is not a dumb person by any means of the letter. He just doesn't give a fuck about people, or even like his own family members in that regard. His daughter is a different story because it's his own blood, you know. But she's a fucking brat. But that's another story. So after I went ahead and not got recovered in about 2 days, they were worried that the swelling would go ahead and spread to my throat. And one of my uncles that lives in Mexico City actually went ahead and told them to not be fucking around and take me to the hospital, even though hospitals here in the US suck ass. And I went ahead to the emergency room, and they kept me waiting there for about, what was it, 7 hours? I was sitting there. I was sitting there so long that my phone died, and I recharged it, and whenever they got back to me, it was like 50% again. They went ahead and got me to the room. They went and they went ahead and checked me. They asked me a couple of questions like, do you eat walnuts? What are you allergic to? Like, I get why it's overly busy. You know, there's hundreds of people who are like dying, and just my head, like, unless I was like not being able to breathe, they're not gonna go ahead and take that seriously. If I started like choking out, then yes, they would have gone ahead and put me in intensive care. But since I was still like, you know, I just had half my face swollen and I wasn't exactly dying just yet, they weren't exactly I wasn't exactly a priority when it comes to that. So I went ahead. I was polite. You have to be polite when it comes to that, even if you because just in the case of nurses can be very vindictive, especially since they can't technically get fired and just gets transferred left and right. Especially during COVID, you saw like them going from one hospital to the other and not really getting anything done just to get that paycheck and that nice moolah. Money motivates everybody, but they should probably go ahead and put a cap on nurses with what they can do, get away with, and what can they get away with. So I went ahead and got into the care of some, you know, doctor saw me, they went ahead and injected me with something, and I fell asleep. I remember just not remembering how I fell asleep. It was just like 1 minute I was sitting down looking at a nurse and talking, and the next minute I was just staring up at a couple of bright lights in the top of me with like this, the hospital beds has like these plastic things that hold up. Sorry. Yeah, and then waking up, I had these plastic things right next to me, and I was really fucking confused of where I was and what was going on. I usually never believed whenever I saw those, like, you know, shows where they wake up in the hospital and they start freaking the fuck out. I never really believed it until that moment, because I actually almost started freaking out too, but luckily enough, I was like, oh, hold up. Yeah, I was in the hospital, looked down at my arm, had like this, injection tube going to like an IV drop thing, and yeah, I was fine. You know, the nurse came in, they went ahead and signed some papers. We got out of there, like, we went in there like around what was it, noon? We went there at noon. We got out of the hospital at around 1 a.m. Yeah, it took that long for them to go ahead and give me a treatment and actually go ahead and get me sorted out and get out of there. But yeah, you know, my mom was just happy at the fact that my face was not swelling anymore and that I was fine. We went to a Burger King. I remember, not a Burger King, a Whataburger afterwards. We got the spicy ketchup. I remember one of the weirdest experiences when we were going to like a 1 a.m. All you can eat, not all you can eat, fast food joint at 1 a.m. and getting, you know, that line specifically done, and just eating at 1 a.m. and from that place felt really weird for some reason. Maybe it was just the medication, but yeah, it felt weird. As you can hear, there's knocking. I hope that it's not knocking at my door. My front door, I mean. But yeah, they just go ahead and make some noise. Maybe you didn't hear that because of the music. But yeah, they started knocking for some reason. But yeah, afterwards, I went ahead and got back home, and like a month or two later, they went ahead and sent me the bill, which apparently kept me waiting all the way to like what was it, 10 hours, and gave me a shot of something to go ahead and calm my allergic reaction. It cost them apparently around what was it, $4,800. Yeah, they were charging me $4,800 for a shot to get my stuff done. For basically an adrenaline shot is what they gave me, and they were charging me $4,800 for that. And I went ahead and actually, you know, I was freaking out a little bit. I was not made of money back then, and even now, you know, I'm not made of money now. I was even less back then. I remember this happening when I was actually I was younger than 18, so this happened when I was still a minor. So being a minor and not even having that much money to myself, I was worried about burning my mom and burning myself too with that bill. I started freaking out a little bit, and thankfully I went ahead and my aunt has a very caring demeanor, so she went ahead and started asking questions about the hospital, and to the point that she actually went ahead and asked the hospital to give a detailed explanation of the bills and everything used in it. And they had to do that, and eventually the bill actually went down from $4,000 to $200. Funny how that works, huh? Yeah, so basically she went ahead and asked for a detailed explanation of what it was. The hospitals do that. They always charge you like you're an insurance company. But yeah, they were charging me fucking hell and back. And once we told them to be specific on why they were charging us that and to give a list of everything, they went ahead and reduced the bill to $200, which is still a lot for an adrenaline shot. But especially because, you know, they're made quite cheaply. At the very least, quite cheaply from what I remember. They don't sell quite cheaply, I'll be honest with you. They sell really expensively. But yeah, they went ahead and tried to charge us $4,000, almost $500,000. Oh, not $500,000, almost $5,000 for that shot. When in reality it was like $200, less than that probably. We paid that though because they reduced the bill quite a lot. So even though it was still not the same price, we still paid for it. Leaning back a little bit. My chair, I should probably get a new chair. It is okay chair, but it is kind of peeling from the seat. It's my own fault. I like sitting crisscross in my chair sometimes, so my foot actually kind of scrapes the painting off a little bit, so it is my fault that it's kind of peeling up right there. Oh, my mouth started freaking out. But yeah, that is just myself. Give you a little bit of backstory about myself, some stories. What was it? My ex-professions, the profession that I want to be an ex-profession, that being McDonald's, fuck them. And just in general, overview of what I'm gonna be doing and what I'm about. I don't really think there's anything else to be said though. When it comes to stories, I can go ahead and talk about stories later on. I have plenty. Everybody has at least one or two good stories out there, you know. But yeah, I will go ahead and probably end stream now. it was a little bit of a shorter stream. It was just supposed to be a debut. But yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks Tips in general for being here. I will go ahead and end this stream now. We'll go ahead. Today it says my stream that it's going to be a stream today. Not really. I will go ahead and cancel that stream because I did the debut. I have stuff to do today. But look forward to tomorrow. I will be doing some D&D stuff for anybody who wants to hop in and join. And I'll see you guys later.